Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon, and a glorious sunny afternoon we're having, and it's so warm. Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 28. Do not be a witness against your neighbour for no reason, and do not deceive with your lips. So the idea of being a witness is to say what you saw. And the idea of making a declaration, confession, is to say with words what you saw. So your eyes saw something and your words declare something. And this idea of giving a testimony as regards to what we have seen, and so we might say. Solomon says, don't be so quick to be a witness against your neighbour. And I guess the reason for that is because the fact that he's your neighbour means you're going to have to live next door to him for a long time. And therefore, if you give a witness that was somewhat inappropriate as far as your neighbour is concerned, in terms of a testimony, you may well have for yourself an enemy in your neighbour. And so we need to be sensitive in terms of our willingness to give a witness against our neighbour. But it says that if we are going to give a witness, then make sure that the words we use in the witness that we declare is words of truth. Don't give a false witness against your neighbour. We shouldn't give a false witness against anyone, but it says don't give a false witness against your neighbour. And that's because if you make your neighbour an enemy, then you have got for yourself a problem in your life every day. And yet it's funny to say that people are constantly making enemies of their neighbour. We see TV programs about neighbours from hell and people who are abusive to one another. And why would anybody want to have the intensity of a neighbour who was not in harmony with the ambience of the street? It's true to say that there are a lot of people who are very irritating, and it's difficult to get on with your neighbour. Jesus says it like this: love your neighbour. And then someone asks, well, who is my neighbour? And then Jesus goes on to say, anyone who represents anyone who is a part of who you are in terms of the connections that you make with them in life. So basically, everyone is your neighbour. And we are commissioned by Jesus himself to love our neighbour, which means we should work hard to keep harmony. But it's also true to say that if our neighbour chooses to be our enemy, then we can do nothing about their perspectives. But we can still do a whole lot about our response to their inappropriate behaviour. So make sure that if you do have a contention with your neighbour, it's not because you have created the contention, but it's that your neighbour has created the contention and he won't move on from it. But you, as far as you're concerned, live in harmony with your neighbour. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.